Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with the worst lightning takes. And let's get right to the news.
All right, well, I've got interesting news, and the last story I've got is fire. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll start with some fun stuff. The new Lego Halloween shorts have graced YouTube Kids.
Yay.
Originally, I thought the Mandoween special that they talked about at Celebration was going to be like a whole, one of their regular, like
Yeah, like
30-minute productions.
Thing,
No, it is 3 shorts.
yeah. How short are shorts?
Well, 2 of them, Mech My Day and Mandoween, are about 2 minutes apiece.
Oh, so they're shorts.
Shorts. There's also, like, no dialogue in either one of those 2.
Oh.
Those 2 weren't the good ones. The good one was 3 minutes long, and it was the Sith Witch of Mustafar.
Okay.
That was the good one, because it is, of course...
I do hope your later news is fire, because this is not.
The Sith Witch of Mustafar was entertaining. It had voice actors, and it was, of course, the beloved pairing of Emperor Palpatine and Vader.
Okay.
Because for some reason in Lego, those 2 work really funny. It's very Robot Chicken-esque in my head.
Yes, yeah, but not to the same extremes the robot chicken stuff goes to, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, you know what? If you've got 6 minutes...
7 minutes?
7 minutes, go and watch them.
Yeah.
They're worth it. They're fun. If you've got kids, they'll like them too. They're in the vein of Lego stuff. It's just entertaining. Good times.
Sure.
Next, we have Lucasfilm Animation is going to be hosting panels at the Lightbox Expo. And they're also recruiting new artists. Yes. They're hosting 3 panels, as well as a recruitment table where they're going to be reviewing artist portfolios for consideration. So, if you ever go around to the Lightbox Expo in Pasadena, California, which will be running from the 27th through the 29th, if you're an artist, you could walk out of there with a Lucasfilm job.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in what they're hiring for. Is
Well-
it just a general hiring, or is there a project in mind?
That's what they aren't telling you, because that's a
Well,
secret.
yeah, I know that. I didn't think that was your fire news.
No,
Was they're going to tell us about a new
the
animated
next stuff
project?
is my fire news.
Okay. I mean that's cool. If you live in California,
Yeah, or if you're close enough and you want a shot, this could be your
sure
shot.
you could move there if you got accepted. Sure.
Well, the 3 panels are going to be the life of a shot within the Star Wars universe, your career path at Lucasfilm Animation, and a story and animation for Star Wars Visions Volume 2, The Pit. It is interesting that they're, like, really pushing. Do they need artists?
Well, I mean, you would think Lucasfilm would just get like unsolicited artists all the time. Just here's my portfolio. Would you please look at it?
yeah, so
Not
I
that
do
they'd have to
find
even-
it incredibly interesting that they're, like, promoting that they're going to
Yeah.
be like, we're going to be here, we're looking for artists, bring your stuff down, bring your portfolio, we'll take a look-see.
Yeah, that to me that tends to imply a big project, right?
Even having a panel called Your Career Path at Lucasfilm Animation.
Yeah. I mean,
They might be hiring for a bunch of roles. Maybe they've got a bunch of new projects in the works for Lucasfilm Animation.
they're going all in on animated.
Maybe.
They're done with that live action crap.
All right. So time for me to move on to the fire article, which I know you like try to look at my screen to see
Yeah.
what I've got going on. And what does it say there?
Marvel stuff.
It doesn't say stuff,
Okay.
but yeah, because it's
This is the fire stuff.
This is very interesting.
Okay.
Marvel has laid down a precedent since they started doing TV projects. Aside from WandaVision and Loki, which they specifically designed to be longer, WandaVision in terms of episodes, and Loki, they always had 2 seasons in mind. Every project they have made has been a limited series of 6 episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why there's been no word on a season 2 of Moon Knight or anything, because they have limited themselves and said, all of my Marvel projects, 6 episodes, 1 season, it's a limited event.
Okay.
First up, they're kind of thinking about getting rid of that.
Kind of thinking, or
Yeah, they're going to change that mold because it's not working.
I could have told you that a while ago, or told them that a while ago.
Well, because some people, fall in love with the show, and then you're like, oh, well, this was a limited thing. Like, they have no intention of touching Moon Knight for season 2. And a lot of people enjoyed Moon Knight quite a bit.
Well, then why bring him in the first place? It's such
Exactly.
a weird thing that they've been doing. Like, here's a character,
And
we're
then
just going
that's
to give
it.
you some episodes, and that's
But yet
it.
Miss Marvel got to keep going.
Well, she
They're
went
pulling
to
her into a movie.
Yeah.
So she'll be in the larger universe. Whereas a character like Moon Knight is trapped.
Is that like a pun, considering how the
Nah.
character works? Or okay.
Well, they left you off on kind of a cliffhanger too, and then they're
Sure.
like, yeah, they have no intention of keeping it up, which is sad. And after this season of Loki, there were currently no plans of making another one because they always planned Loki to be 2 seasons.
Well, I mean, that's not a terrible idea either, I don't think. I
No,
think the
but it
problem
does
is-
make you less likely to want to watch it if you're like, this is a limited 6-episode thing and it's done.
Yeah, I think the problem is when Marvel does it, because Marvel is so character-centric, it's all about the character, that's the new superhero, and you get a limited show, and then that's it. It's not like when Star Wars would be like, I'm going to do a limited series called this, even though they call their shows name all their shows after characters anyway, but it's kind of different because that implies, like, whenever you bring that new character in with Marvel, it's implied it's going somewhere, right? So I think that's where the frustration comes in. Because I don't think it's a terrible idea to just do 6-episode shows.
No, I don't hate the 6th episode. It's just sad when you're like, well, this is going to be it. 6 episodes and we're done. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because this character. If you like the character, then you're like, well, where am I going to see him next?
Exactly. I mean, sometimes, though, they could be less, like She-Hulk.
Well, sure, they're not all winners. In fact, they're probably a bit more losers than winners, but...
But there's more to the Marvel story than this. Daredevil, born again, was sent back to the drawing board.
To be born again.
Yes. It went out in a blaze of fire. Because, with the writer's strike and everything, they had written episodes. They had filmed episodes. Not all of it, but they were, on their way.
17 episodes.
They had a nice chunk of it that they were working through. And because of the strikes, the executives in charge had a chance to just go and watch it. And look at it and, like, really examine it.
Yeah.
And they decided this wasn't going to work.
I get a feeling a lot of the times the execs don't watch this stuff before they're like,
well, I think
get sent out in the
this
wild.
Was just, they needed time to sit and look at it and go, no, this isn't what we wanted. Apparently, instead of being a kind of more violent, edgy show like it was on Netflix,
which everybody loved, yeah,
it was a legal drama,
oh.
more or less. Yeah, it turned somehow mostly into a legal drama.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's part of Daredevil's story, don't get me wrong.
Matt Murdock did not suit up as Daredevil till episode 4.
Huh.
Yeah, so it was literally all legal until episode 4 when you finally got him in the suit.
Wow.
Yes.
Who wrote this?
They were all fired. They were fired, the directors were fired. Yes.
How does that even get to that stage, though? That's what I want to know. Like, doesn't Feige have to greenlight these things? Doesn't he look at everything? Essentially, I'm not saying he reads every word of a script, but, like, doesn't the idea have to get past his desk before it goes into, creation?
She-Hulk made it past his desk, is all I'm saying.
Well, he was, like, in that.
But they looked at it and said, you know what? The writing isn't good enough. They've been fighting with criticism on their Marvel slate for, since Endgame, really.
Well, yeah, it's been kind of a mess since Endgame, to be
So, you know
gentle.
what? They took the time, they looked at it, and they have made us a pledge to invest more money into writers as they're reassessing their production pipeline.
Oh my god, like, can you imagine having a multi-billion-dollar franchise like Marvel and having to figure out, like, you need to spend money on writers? It's amazing how these things play out, how chaotic and stupid it is behind the scenes at Marvel and Lucasfilm. Like, you would imagine, I think the average fan imagines, like, there's, like, the guy at the top who's, like, just overseeing everything and making all the decisions, and then everybody else kind of has to follow suit. That's what I think people imagine out of Kevin Feige, or imagine Lucas used to do, but I don't think it works that way at all. I just think it's just pure chaos, and you got people just on different pages trying to do different things and having completely different visions.
Well, apparently there was a bunch of shenanigans that went on behind the scenes of Secret Invasion. Like
something went on behind the scenes. It didn't go on in front of them, that's for sure.
Well, they said that Marvel, for some reason, went into this thing of, let's just fix it in post as a strategy. Which is kind of evident in Secret Invasion. Like, they filmed it all, and they're like, now fix it. Re-edit this into something that works.
AI it.
Yeah, just get some AI in there, some VFX, it's fine.
Yeah, everybody's gonna love it.
Yeah.
Because it's Marvel.
So they were just like, quick, let's go through schedules, fix it, reshoot, we're done. Slap a Band-Aid on it, we're good to go. But they can't do that. People have higher expectations for Marvel.
Yeah.
We remember how the MCU started.
Started really well. Really well.
Yeah.
And it proceeded pretty well for three phases. Mm-hmm. Seemed like they had their stuff together.
So Marvel Studios shut down Daredevil Born Again. And they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna rework it. They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna rewrite. We're gonna keep going from there, and hopefully something better comes out on the other end.
Like, how does this even happen? That's what I want to know. Like, how do you go into production? How do you have episodes filmed, and then people are like, wait a minute, this isn't what the fans actually want. This is bad.
I am happy to hear that they want to go back to the traditional TV model. Multi-season shows focuses on characters rather than one season of a TV event that's just a piece of their franchise puzzle. Yeah. Like, give me a show about a character. I'm fine with that. A lot of these street-level heroes didn't need to be like, I'm involved in all of the big stuff now.
Well, no, the Netflix Marvel-verse, whatever you want to call it, I thought that worked pretty well.
Yeah, they were all street-level. Yeah. So it didn't bother me. They're like, what? Jessica Jones didn't show up to fight Thanos? Well, no, she's a street-level hero. Street-level heroes do that. I mean, yes, technically Spider-Man's a street-level hero, but he's a lot more popular than some of the others.
Well, he's more powerful, too, and he's been an Avenger. And, well, some of the street-levels are Avengers. It's complicated with all that stuff, but I know what you're saying.
I mean, they've had a lot of weird stuff going on with Marvel. I mean, nobody knows what the fate of Blade is. Then they hired the creator of Beef, which I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but I've heard is really good, to rewrite Thunderbolts pretty much from scratch. The one who wrote True Detective, they're the one who was brought on to rewrite Blade, but apparently was told to start over again. Somebody else had to take over the Fantastic Four script because it says it wasn't good enough. So what's going on? Why can't we capture the magic anymore?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, that's a fantastic, that is like the $1 million question or the $1 billion question, when you really think about it. Like, why can't we get together and write good scripts that coalesce into, the bigger stories that we're kind of used to or that we saw in the first 3 phases. Even though, behind the scenes, it wasn't like they had everything mapped out. We've heard Feige talking about, like, no, we do kind of make it up as we go. We see what works and we go in different directions. So it's not like they used to have a grand master plan for everything.
Well, hopefully
it used to work.
Hopefully this is the year. That'll be the great Marvel correction.
Maybe.
Just like, I think, a couple years ago they had the great Netflix correction where they started trying to fix their quality of their shows.
Well, there's so much competition. It's just amazing to me. Like, again, you have this $1 billion franchise. It's just this almost automatic payday if you can at least get it like mostly right, and you just screw it up. Like Star Wars. Like, how did you screw up Star Wars so bad? Like, it's a blank check. It's the golden ticket, but you couldn't put in enough effort to get it even remotely right, and so you sank your ship. I don't get these companies at all. And granted, I'm no expert. I'm just some guy who, talks about all this stuff at home. But goodness gracious, like this is what makes me want to create more, because I'm like, do these people have any idea what they're really doing? Is it really about the creating, or are they just trying to manufacture things to sell? That's why I talked about a video the other day. Like, I want to start my own stuff. I want to meet people who actually want to create things and do that.
But at least this is a little bit of promise. Because Netflix...
Sure, maybe. But it's all talk until we get results, though, right?
Yeah, but the fact that they were, like, willing to scrap everything that they've done with Daredevil, to be like, we can't mess this up, let's do it right.
Well, look what they did with Batgirl, right?
That was DC.
Well, sure, but it's the same kind of general idea, right?
Right. When things aren't working, I'm sorry, you have to go back to the drawing board.
Don't put it out just to put it out.
Don't put subpar things out there. If it's not going to work, don't do it. It's just going to cause ridicule and loss of faith in your company. Not just, well, we'll make some money off of this, so put it out there anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I would love to see the daily workings of some of these places, how they even function, how things get, to the production phase, and then they're like, finally, wait a minute, this isn't really good. Why are we making this? Why are we spending millions of dollars on this? And now we're going to just waste millions of dollars and redo it. It's crazy. All right, well, I guess that's going to be all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think goes on behind closed doors at Marvel and Lucasfilm, or just Disney in general. Whatever you think, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars and some Marvel. And until next time, thanks for watching.